Have you ever wanted something or were in the process of manifesting something into your life? And that thing might even appear, that opportunity, that experience, that person, but you reject it, push it away, have an aversion to it because A, you don't feel like you're worthy enough of it, or B, you have a fear that if you accept this thing, you're going to lose control of the rest of your life, or something else is going to fall apart.
Welcome to another podcast episode. I'm your host, Jessica, and we have our co-facilitator of a Stronger You retreat here with us. Welcome, Shira. Thank you so much for being here.
Jess, I'm honored to be here with you. First of all, I just love you so much. And we're also just in this beautiful home that you have, and we're here to talk about some amazing life-changing topics. When we get together, we just channel, and what comes through is really the divine's gift to us and whoever tunes in.
Yeah, and I think it's so special how you started this off with the question about, have you ever been manifesting something and it's literally right in front of you and you push it away? I feel that there's so many people in the world who do that. I used to be that person. I still get to check myself because yes, I'm human. No, I'm not perfect. And it's a practice.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely resonate too. I mean, I think every moment those opportunities arise, right? Everything can be a sign. Everything can be an opportunity. It literally could be spelled out in front of your face, right? You could literally be telling your bestie, I need to get out of my life, the comfort of my routine. I need to go on vacation. I really want to travel out of the country. You know, I've never even been on a retreat, but maybe something like that before. And then you're on Instagram and somebody like Jess or I is posting about this great, amazing retreat, early bird pricing, and you want it, you feel a pull to it, but you're like, no. And you start listing off all of the reason why not.
Right. And like I can resonate with that so deeply when it comes to especially taking trips, because as a high achiever, I could be thinking, oh, but if I take time off, my clients aren't going to want to work with me anymore. If I take time off, someone's going to replace me at my job. If I take time off, my career, my business is going to crumble. And that's old programming. And there's so many people in the world who experience this. I used to be one of them. It's like, no, I can only take a vacation after I hit XYZ.
Rest, vacation, reset, retreat. You are always enough for those things. You are always worthy of those things.
And one of my favorite quotes is, the more I rest, the more I receive. Like literally every time I take a trip, every time I take a day off of work, I always, an opportunity comes. An opportunity comes. And it's balancing that polar opposite. So like, have you ever experienced when you're just like flowing in life and like everything's good? It's because you're living in harmony. So meaning everything in your life is just flowing. The masculine energy is there. The feminine energy is there. You planned the thing, but you didn't overplan it because you allowed yourself to stay open for the opportunities. Maybe you said, yes, I'm going to go on this trip, but I'm not going to plan every single detail. And then you have the best day ever. How about this one everyone talks about? You know what I'm about to say.
Well, I was just going to say that sounds like our day today.
The best days are always unplanned. Yes. You ever link up with your bestie and you're like, oh my gosh, we literally had no plans and it was the best day ever.
But we had intention. We had intention. We had the intention to be present with one another. We had the intention, for us today, it was like, we had the intention to come together, we had the intention to film some content, to have a good time, and to let the rest flow organically. Because how can you receive when you're always strict, when you're always stressed? How can you even be acknowledging receiving if you're constantly going and going and going and going? That's how we miss the signs. That's how we miss the opportunities.
When we're multitasking because we're overachieving, high achieving women. So we're listening to the podcast and then we're also texting and then we're also looking at the cute guy out the window and then we're also doing this and that. And so it's like
we're worrying.
Yeah.
And we're being pulled in all these different directions.
When there could be something so valuable right in front of you.
But there always is something so valuable right in front of you.
Always.
There always is. There's always something valuable right in front of you. It's whether or not you're opening your eyes enough to see it and then going beyond what your eyes can see and what your heart feels, right? We always say, right, it was told to us growing up, you've got to see it to believe it. We're flipping that script around and realizing that we get to believe it first and then see the rest of our life manifest from that place of belief.
Yeah, and they also talk about it, the be, do, have effect. When most people, and I'm going to tie this into the retreat because we were just talking about it. If you didn't know, we're having a fucking fabulous.
Tell them about it.
You already know what this is. Have you guys already signed up? The All Women's Transformative Retreat in Mexico, November 6th through 10th. And there are still a very couple amount of spots left because Edda, if you're listening to this, took one of the last spots. Yay for her. She's coming in from Amsterdam. Okay, what is your excuse? She's traveling from Amsterdam.
And that's also what you're going to get from this retreat. I just want to speak to this real quick, is that you're going to get us. You're going to get the 5-star hotel. You're going to get transformative workshops. You're going to get daily yoga and movement practices. You're going to get 5-star chef experiences in terms of food, healthy, nutritious, but also get your dessert and your sweet treat because that is part of the experience as well. But then you're also going to get women from all over the world coming to gather together to co-create this experience. So you get to see your reflection, not just in the people that you see every single day. You get to see the reflection of people from across the world that you may never have encountered before if you didn't take this leap of faith to be there.
And it's like really, without even consciously realizing it, it's expanding your mindset because you're now being introduced to a whole another level of consciousness, a whole new level of awareness, meeting people from all over the world. And if you're someone who has a business or who has a career, which most of y'all are like super focused on your career or your business,
and we get that. We are too.
Yeah.
But we elevate one another.
Yeah. And being able to be surrounded with other women who are like-minded, you can only go so far alone. And like this power of this specific container that we are creating together, you being part of it, it's such a different level of...
It's a different level of experience. It's a different level of... It's a different lifestyle. It's a whole level up. And I love what you said just there. Like, there's a great African proverb, and it's also in the movie Mufasa. If anybody's seen that great film. But one of the songs in that movie, they talk about, like, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Yes. And what we're giving you is actually both.
Yeah.
And let me tell you why. Because retreats, deep dive experiences are, we were talking about this, accelerator programs.
Yeah, oof.
Right? Talk about that, because you gave a great example of that before.
If you want to collapse time frames, if you want to get somewhere quick, if you're ready to see that massive success in your life, in your business, in your career, in your relationships, if you're manifesting a specific person, or you're manifesting a business bestie, being in this specific container that we are creating, what we're literally doing is we're taking you out of your life for like a couple days. You're coming to Mexico and we're collapsing time frames and you're stepping into a different, I wouldn't say different, a upgraded, expansive, a more expansive version of yourself, and you're jumping. And so what that does is you're literally collapsing time frame.
But you've already jumped. Like, the process starts the minute you sign up for the retreat. Right. So if you've already signed up for the retreat, you're in the transformation right now because you already took the leap of faith. So what are you waiting for? Really, like, wait, just 1 minute. Like, sit with that question. What are you waiting for? Because nobody's going to give you permission. Nobody's going to give you permission. You got to choose that again and again and again until you become that person. You've got to keep choosing to be present in your life. You've got to keep choosing to stretch and expand yourself. You've got to keep choosing to move through discomfort, and then you become that person. Then it's not even a choice, it's a habit. It's your character. It's your destiny that you've already co-created.
And stop asking, what do you have to do? You don't have to do anything different. You just have to make that decision to the universe, be that person, and then you just automatically do the thing. Like those of y'all who already signed up, you made the decision first and then you signed up.
So now you're already somebody who makes these boss moves, who invests in themselves, who takes leaps of faith, who trusts in their intuition, who wants to collaborate, who wants to be guided, who's ready.
Who's playing full out? Who's playing full out? This has been created for you, and we're so freaking excited to see you there and to squeeze you and to grow with you.
This is all rooted in love. And this is something we were talking about before, is like when you are looking, whether you're in a position that has, we don't love to use this word, but sales, or something that is calling people into an offering. So for example, Jess is a coach, I'm a real estate agent. We both work with people to help them in their life. That's what this is rooted in. It's not about us. It's not about what we make or what we receive from this experience. It's about how we can serve you, how we can create a container for you to feel loved, to feel supported, to feel uplifted. And all you have to do is open up and receive that.
Yeah, receive this. Understand that you are worthy of this. You are worthy of taking a moment to yourself. You are worthy of treating yourself. You work so hard, and life doesn't have to be that way either. You don't have to work so hard every single second of the day. Because have you gotten the results you wanted? Okay, sure. Like, yes, you make the money, you know, you've gotten that, maybe you're in the house or the car, like you've gotten the results, but you worked really hard.
But how do you feel? Also, how do you feel even with those things? Because you were burnt out at the end of it.
Do you feel fulfilled? Right? Do you feel truly happy? Do you feel wealthy? Do you feel abundant? So it's like the money and the things don't equate to you being good. Like, how do you feel?
I think that's at the root of everything. How do you feel? It's like the other day, my mentor, because if you're working with anybody, they better be working with somebody else.
Yes. Yes.
Every coach needs a coach. And we both have our own. And my mentor was, you know, we were talking about, like I mentioned, I'm a real estate agent, and I was talking about, you know, just putting myself out there as an expert in this, and how sometimes I feel imposter syndrome. And he was like, okay, what is imposter syndrome? Like, what do you actually feel there? And guided me in the process to be like, actually, I feel like if I don't get this right, I would feel shame. That's what's at the root of it. So when we are experiencing, to rewind, when we are experiencing that blockage of not being able to receive, what's the feeling underneath there? Is it fear? Is it shame? Is it guilt? If I receive this, then I'm taking away from X, Y, and Z.
And I think it's important to now talk about why are we talking about emotion so much? Why are we so concerned about diving into what's underneath that? Because in order to manifest, we manifest from our emotions, period. So when we're able to recognize where something is coming from, what do we get to do? We have the awareness, we get to heal that, remove that, because then that's a blockage that's stopping us from the next level.
And we might not even so this is why retreats are important again, and how interesting opposites play with one another. We want to speed up in our lives, so what do you have to do to speed up?
Slow down.
Yes, girl. So taking this retreat, you slow down. You might be thinking, I have so much anxiety. Shit, that might not even be anxiety, but you don't know because you're constantly going. So you take that time to slow down, and you're like, oh, that's not anxiety, that's this part of me that just needs to be held and seen and recognized and loved. I can do that? Now I feel free from anxiety. When actually it was just a part of me that wanted to be heard, seen, felt, appreciated.
Yeah, instead, society, some of us were numbing that so we don't feel it because it's unfelt. Maybe our parents have never experienced it because they've also never had social media. Maybe we're numbing those feelings so we don't have to feel it with scrolling. Maybe we're numbing that with drinking. Maybe we're numbing that with surrounding ourselves with toxic people when you know damn well you should have dropped that friend yesterday.
We're talking to you. Stop texting them. Don't ghost them. Create your boundary and let it go.
Yeah, for you. Because you are the sum of the 5 people you surround yourself with.
We talk about this all the time.
Yeah, you can love them from a distance, but you don't have to be in the same room as them all the time.
And sometimes you got to take yourself out of the room completely in order to see these things at all. Oh, I thought I was going on this retreat to get a break from my life. What I didn't realize was that I was going on this retreat to meet my best friend. Or I was going on this retreat to actually realize that I'm unhappy in the job that I'm in and I'm ready to take that leap of faith into the next career.
Because you see yourself, you had these crazy breakthroughs, and you start to understand the true confidence and that you really feel worthy of it. And I know some of y'all have already dabbled in this work, and some of y'all, like Dominique, I know you want to listen to all the podcasts, she's coming back. She was in one of my group coaching containers, and she's back because she knows there's another level. There's always levels. And we were just talking about this earlier when we were having our amazing lunch. Such good lunch. So good. We were talking about how there's different levels to the awakening, to raising your vibration, to raising your frequency, to raising your consciousness. It's like me and Shira, Shira and I, we've done so much work internally. And are we done? Do we know it all? No.
And we said, like what I said to Jess is like, we'll never know it all.
Right.
Any teacher, any person who claims to know everything, don't trust that person.
Definitely.
Because the minute you stop growing and learning, you are dead. You are gone. There is nothing else there.
Are we experts in our field? For sure. But do we know it all? No. And that's what makes the best teachers, when they're willing to learn more.
Well, the best teachers are the best students. And that's a lot of what, like in Zen Buddhism, they talk about this a lot. They talk about like, what is a master? A master is somebody who's actually like mastered a beginner's mindset. The ability to see things with a fresh perspective. It doesn't mean you can't claim and step into yourself as an expert, as a master in your field, but also have the humility enough and the openness enough to keep receiving the wisdom that comes through. Because we think we're at one level. I mean, if you met us a year ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, we would not be recognizable to the people we are today.
Yeah.
So I am just damn well excited to meet who I'm going to be in a year.
Yeah.
In 5 years, in 10 years.
Yeah.
Because now, through retreats, through experiences, through taking a leap of faith, I've created the team, the network, the community to support, hold me accountable, and dive in messy. That's something that you've taught me, and that really has accelerated my growth. Can you speak a little bit to just diving in messy?
Yeah, so I want to speak about that, and then something that's keeps coming through, I want to say so I don't forget it, is speaking to the women who are calling in their king, but they're the king in their life, and so you can't call the king in when you're in your masculine. So we're going to dive into that in a second. But doing things messy, holy shit. My life wouldn't be where it is if I didn't do things messy. If I didn't take the jump, if I didn't just do it. Because so many of us women, we try to like make sure the content's perfect, make sure the colors are perfect on the website, make sure this is perfect. That's actually something that's in disguise. That perfectionism is a T response, a trauma response. Because you're trying to have control over everything. Is the caption perfect? Is it centered? Is it this? Is it that? And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with having like an eye for that. I do.
Yeah, you're great at that.
Things like look good. But I've learned that like things gotta be messy. There's this thing that my mentor says that messy makes her millions. She became a multi-millionaire from starting messy.
I love that. I love that. Messy makes her millions.
Yeah, messy makes me millions.
Messy makes me millions.
And so really kind of shifting the gear, and then we're going to wrap this up, but don't go anywhere because we have a surprise for you at the end, if you're still listening. And if you are still listening, and if you're listening and watching to this on Spotify, comment the number 5 below in the comments on Spotify. Yes, you can comment on Spotify because we want to see who's here. And I want you to take a moment and go leave my podcast, please, a review. I am asking, and I would love to receive it. You'll come here every single week grabbing these gems. I would love to receive a review from you on Spotify. If you're watching this on YouTube, also comment down below the number 5. If you're tuning in on Apple Podcasts, You cannot comment, but you can leave a review. Scroll all the way down on the main page and leave a review. Tell us that you're here from this.
I want to speak to that real quick. We keep wanting to. But this is an important point. This is not just for Jess to receive it, but it's also an opportunity for you to give. Because how does this flow work? It works, giving and receiving are part of the same, like an infinity symbol that's constantly feeding itself. So how often do you see a post on Instagram or a video on TikTok and it really resonates with you, it's really impactful, you might click the save button, but you don't comment, and sometimes you don't even like it, but you're like, wow, that person just gave me so much.
Yeah.
I now go out of my way, if I'm deeply receiving or even just momentarily receiving somebody, to even comment an emoji. Because it does give that person how many times do you post or do something and you're like, wow, like, did this hit at all for anybody? Yeah. But then that one person comments, wow, this really resonated.
And you're wondering why no one's commenting on your post. Are you commenting on other people's posts? Because abundant men, abundant women, we give. Because we know there's so much more coming. So
always, in all ways.
In all ways. There's always more coming. Like, buy your friend lunch because there's more coming. I'm moving from abundance. It's an energy. It's a freaking energy. Okay, so yes, and this was me asking in my feminine, and I'm receiving, and you get to be part of this process. So what I want to talk about is, if you're calling in a man, this is for the singles, and if you are not single, I'm sure you can connect with this maybe in a different area of your life. Maybe it's a business partner. Maybe it is a friend. Maybe
a mentor, a guide, a coach.
Yes. High achieving woman, which I know it's you because that's who I attract. We are always trying to get to the next level, learn, grow. If we are continuously operating in our masculine, planning every single moment of the day, organizing everything to a T, putting systems in place, never sitting and receiving, and you're calling in a king, a man or a mentor or guide, you cannot call a real true masculine in your life if you're only operating from your masculine and you have yet to learn how to stop, slow down, smell the flowers, and receive.
And I think those people come into our lives the minute that we let go. So if you are so fixated on manifesting something to a point where you're obsessing over it and it does become a control thing, then that thing is not going to come into your life, or it's not going to come into your life with ease. The minute you are just embodying the person who already would receive that person or that experience or that gift, it's coming the minute you walk out of your door and give thanks for just being alive and walking down the street. I hope that you leave with, first of all, just knowing that you're enough, just by being, not by doing anything. That you've always been worthy of rest, of receiving. It's your natural birthright. You're actually already good at it, you just have to remember that.
Yeah.
And that, sometimes when you're listening to a podcast or you read a book or you might be like, oh shit, I'm so behind or I have so much work to do to catch up. Actually, you don't. You're already there.
Yeah. Oh, I can't take time off of work because then I'm going to have to come back to a lot to catch up to. What if you shift your mindset? Because every time you tell yourself that, that's what you're attracting. You shift your mindset, I'm going to take this break because I know things are going to be okay. And then maybe you learn how to ask for support from your coworkers and you don't have all that work to do when you come back because you know how to ask for support now. And this is a beautiful opportunity, a place for you to truly receive, truly receive. And speaking of receiving, we have a gift for you. Yeah.
Let them know what it is, Jess.
Yeah. Okay, so for those of you who really want to come to the retreat, and maybe you were waiting for that sign, and maybe this podcast was that sign.
Yes.
We have a gift for you, and I would love to invite you to receive this. This is because you listened to the end, and I know how bad you want to go. I know in your bones you want to go. So not only are we on early bird sale, on top of getting early bird sale, which is $1,000 off, we are gifting you $100 off any general ticket and $200 off any VIP ticket when you send in your application in the next 48 hours. So you literally only have 48 hours.
I'm like, why are we even giving them 48 hours? I believe, like, I'm like, start messy, do it now.
Okay, 24 hours. Is that good?
No, I'm like, we can give y'all 48 hours, but I'm saying do it faster.
Yeah. Well,
do it messy.
It's going to sell out.
And that's the thing, it's like, don't wait.
Yeah, you cannot wait. There's hundreds of people who listen to this podcast, and I know y'all want to go. And you've been waiting for this sign, and it does.
Apply and have the conversation. The application is not, we're not asking you to sign any documents. We're not asking you to put a down payment down with this application. We're asking you to take the next steps, if you feel the call, to have the conversation and see what opens up from there.
And if you have any concerns, any worries, anything that's coming up, anything you want to work through, we're here to support you on that call to help you make the best decision for what's aligned for you. Because this is a very specific process, and we're only accepting aligned people. So if it's not in alignment, we cannot take you on.
Absolutely.
I don't care how much money you offer to give us. You cannot come on the retreat if you're not aligned. So apply, and there's no code you need to do. You just get to make that application with 48 hours, or should we change it to 24?
We'll give them 48 because we're generous, but if we were, but like my hard coaching style wants to be like 24 hours.
Let's do 24.
Okay, great. I'm feeling that. I'm feeling that because I believe in y'all.
All you have to do is click the link we're going to put in the show notes.
Yeah.
So pull over on the side of the road, apply. It takes 2 seconds. And then you book your call. And if you're accepted, you'll...
And let me just tell you something. People pay Jess thousands of dollars for this time that she gives you on this call.
For free.
So, for free. This call is free. And the thing is that even if you don't end up coming on this retreat, which you will receive so much from that conversation with Jess.
Oh my gosh.
That's a breakthrough conversation right there.
Yeah, everyone who's already signed up, their breakthroughs have already started happening. It's already started happening. So
I do want to end with this poem, this quote, because I feel like it really ties everything together. And I'll leave you with this. I read this quote from Kathy Heller, who I follow on Instagram. She wrote a book called Abundance Ever After, which I haven't read yet, but I've listened to her podcast as well. And she's somebody that I definitely resonate with, and she's been posting these things. And I commented on the post because they've been resonating with me. I've been using them in my yoga classes. And so I want to share it with you guys too. It's up to us to make our lives a sanctuary, to choose mornings that feel like prayer instead of pressure, to sip our tea slowly as if it were holy, to let the light in before the noise, to drink in the sunset like it's the last color we'll ever see, to soften into our own presence and make this moment, this exact moment, enough. No one else will give us permission to live this way. We have to choose it again and again until it becomes who we are. Because peace doesn't wait for someday. It's already here, quietly asking, will you slow down enough to receive it?
Links are down below. We love you guys. Thank you for listening. That was so good.
That was so good. I'm like, we need to do another one.